all that dance, my husband is an elder of the church. Gooks. Come. Just say hi. That is why it's not dancing. You wanna just say hi?
Bonsoir, Mr. James. Bonsoir, Mr. James. I was told that the audience is French, so I'm trying to speak French. Bonsoir, Mr. James. Je m'appelle Mabona. Je suis ma chérie.
Your chérie. Thank you. Okay. Good evening once again. I'll be very brief because we are here to launch the book and not to talk much. And I want to hand over Honorable Martha Karua, who has been my mentor for a long time. And a lot of people wonder why I keep insisting on Martha, even when we are on different sides politically. But your mentor is your mentor, whatever side of the political divide you are. When I was a young university student, law student, and I was dealing with a case where my client was a woman who was a Somali woman, and she had been in a relationship with another man, a Chinese, I think, Japanese, I can't remember, man. And they were not in a legal union, but they got a child. And then after having the child, this guy went back to the country, called my client, she joined him. And even though children with mixed races are celebrated in Kenya, in the country they went, he was actually despised. And then the woman was being mistreated and beaten. So she came back, and the guy didn't follow her for many years. So when she saw this guy was not following her, she got pregnant by another man. Then conveniently, the man comes back and says, this woman is immoral, she's a Muslim, and she already has a child outside wedlock by another man, and I'm the husband. So I want custody of this child. And he timed when she's pregnant and the pregnancy is being seen. So we couldn't even pretend that she's not pregnant. It was not the days of DNA, but he knew she was pregnant. So Martha found me. I wasn't as big as you see me. I was as small as my grandchild, Tawana, who really dances well. I was really tiny. So she finds me pacing up and about. So Martha calls me and says, Millie, young girl, why are you pacing up and about? So I said, I'm just about to go in with a case where my client is pregnant and it's an issue of custody. And I'm fearing we are going to lose this case. She told me, you go in there confidently and tell the judge that your client did not swear to celibacy. She has to have sex. Go in and tell the judge. And I went in. Believe you me, that's what I told the judge. I said, my client did not swear to celibacy. She must have a man. So if this man has abandoned her, she must have a man. And guess what? We got custody. So Martha, if I'm a bad girl, you have taught me to be a bad girl. I have followed your footsteps very religiously. And there are several women who have also inspired me. If you look at the book, there are so many women who have inspired me. Charity Ngilu, the way she dresses and being the first woman who ran for presidency. There are so many women who have inspired me. Maybe some of them I may not have told them, like Charity may be surprised to see that I've always admired her. And we jumped, I think those of you, because FIDA is also here, those of you who were with us in FIDA at that time, you know how euphoric we were when there was a first woman president, a candidate for presidency. And I want to tell you, Governor Ann and Gladys, I told you this in New York, and I want to repeat it. You do not know what it feels when those of us who have been in the trenches, fighting for the increase of women, see women, 7 women governors. Naangalia nasema 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah? It makes us so proud and happy. And you remember Justice Jacqueline Omogeni said the same thing. I've seen Ann Jogu, and many, many faces we were within civil society, and you know what we've gone through. Jeff Nakuona, even though you are not a, a woman, but you fought with us. And so we have come a long way. And so I would just want to encourage, we can't stop here. Right now, you can see the members were coming a bit late. That's why even we dragged a little bit, because of the issue of the proposed impeachment of Rigiji. And I don't want to get into whether I support or not. That is irrelevant for our purposes now. But when you hear people talking about replacement, they're only mentioning male names. Kwani, hapa kwa hii mesa naangalia hapa, tayari naona wengi, who can be also deputy presidents. Yeah? So if it comes to replacing, other women, let us also put our foot forward. Babu Owino, we nakusikia ukisema kingpin. Hata mimi ni queen pin. Sio wewe tu kingpin. Hata mimi ni queen pin. Let the men not be the ones who think they can go away with everything. Women must be counted where it matters. Martha, I know what journey you have gone through, Honorable Martha, seeking the presidency. My story, and I thank you, Anne, my story stemmed out of the fact that when I went into politics, and we were taught by an amazing woman from Sweden called Barbro, yeah? And me and Shebesh, we said we will be the Barbros of Kenya. Shebesh, unaona? Nimekuwa Barbro. And we said we are going to be the Barbros, that we are going to train women, and we are going to transform the lives of women from that training. It was an amazing training that transformed the lives of many women. And I remember when I came in at that point, it's a training that uses psychosocial method. So it's like therapy. And when we got in, yeah, many of you today saw me breaking down. Lakini unajua tu the tough Millie. You don't know the tears the strong women here shed in the background. And we sat, and I was shocked when I'm seeing strong women cry. And why were they crying? They tell you stories. And you're like, are you telling me a movie? Are you reading a fiction novel? Or are you telling me about politics? And me, I thought it was a joke. Until I went into election the first time. And when I was through, I know by the time when people were reading here, believe you me, I was busy asking Brian, why are these guys reading other things? We didn't agree on reading that one because there are things there they don't want to read. There are some of them who sees the word vagina, they want to collapse. But they have vaginas, but they want to collapse when they see the word vagina. Let me tell you, the things women hear in politics, the things we see in politics, I know men also go through difficult things, but it's not the same as what we go through in politics. Yeah? I think every woman here can tell you their story. But it is worse if you vie against men. I remember, and I want to thank Honorable Jakoyo Midiwo posthumously. I loved Jakoyo. There are times he would fight me, then he would guide me. He would fight me and he would guide me. And I remember one time when we were doing Katiba. And I wasn't known in Homa Bay. I was just like a small girl who was coming nominated and doing the work like I see Rene Mayaka doing, very excited. So me, I was just doing my work. So our leader then was Honorable Tieno Kajwang the late. So he called us and told us tuendeni tukaenda Homa Bay to popularize Katiba. I didn't realize people were paying attention to what I was doing in Parliament. I didn't even know people knew me, but people were climbing trees to see me. And they were saying, ndio huyu Millie, this small girl here, this is the one. I was so popular in Homa Bay that when I came back and I told Shebesh, gosh, Shebesh, I'm so popular in Homa Bay. Then she told me, Millie, you are saying that smiling. And I said, yeah, but I'm popular. She said, you don't know your problems have just begun. I said, how? Jakoyo called me And he told me, Millie, you thought we came here to Nairobi to count buildings. We came here to do politics. And you are here trying to pretend that now you are popular. We are going to cut you to size. And let me tell you, when I do my trainings, I tell people and they think I'm joking. My dear, kuna wakati walinichapa. I went under for 2 years. Many of you may not remember. Nilichapwa. Niko mall, sijui niko nini. Senator, one day sit down with me. Nikuambie my side of the story. Nilichapwa kuchapwa. Gladys, my sister, I salute you. You don't know how much. The men was pitting Gladys against me. And you know why they were pitting me against me? Because they thought you are easy to manage. And she's sitting here as governor. They thought Gladys was easier to manage. So they thought tutaweka Gladys chini, Millie chini, tuinue Gladys. Gladys, hiyo siasa yako. Endelea na vile unaenda. Kama sio wewe first woman president, kama sio wana basi ni mimi. So I want to support you in that agenda. When I finished my elections, by the way, just for your information, this book is very old. It does not cover what most of you know of me in politics. This book only covers what I went through when I ran for the first time. I was so shocked, I was so traumatized that I sat and wrote it and finished in 2 weeks. And after I wrote it and finished in 2 weeks, I put it aside. And every time I would go and read the book, I would break down. You've seen me, I still break down. Let me not go there. But over time, I have removed a lot of things in that book, sadly. So Shebesh was telling me, Millie, this is not even half your story. You have seen Duale telling you, Duale knows half the story. Maybe one day, when things have settled, I'll give the full story. So what I've given you is just a tip of the iceberg. But I would want to encourage all of us who are here, I'm tough when it comes to issues relating to me. But please, sometimes you have no clue what it does to our families. So even when you're attacking other people, you may not succeed in pulling me down as Millie Odhiambo, but you are hurting people close to us. Please, let us remember that when we hurt other people. Otherwise, my mother would be here today. I want to acknowledge my family members who have been here in very special ways. They don't realize how much support they've been with for me. Some of them just by dancing. One of my nephews, Neville, is out of the country. He one time told me, we don't see Auntie Millie anymore. I've lived with my nieces, nephews, and grandchildren all my life, most of them. And he told me, we now see Honorable Millie. And you know how they see? When I'm not dancing. And recently, one of the young girls came and told me, Grammy, the grandchildren, they say, Grammy, I have not seen you dancing. Then I sat back and I said, yeah, I have not danced. When I don't dance, there's a problem. That's how I know there's a problem. Why? Because dancing is therapeutic for me. When I was young, my grandmother used to call me, Omiale, Omiale, I dance, and she goes, Omiale, Omiale, because dancing is just therapeutic. Jen Maru, where are you, Jen Waigwa? Kuja hapa. Come. You'll come and then my family will come. There's another part of me that most people don't know. The reason you can't pull me down is because, strangely, I am a woman of amazing and strong faith. And I have many people behind me who pray for me. Come, Jen. Jen is just representative of one of them. Jen and I come a long way from Limuru Girls. That's how many years? That's how many years? That's how many years? How many? 30? 40. You're 40 ni yako. Me, I've not. Your vote ni yako. But Jane and I come a long way. Sometimes we fight. When it's politics, I even unfriended her, we abuse each other. But when things are hard, I tell her, Jane, if you don't pray for me, I am, what did you call it? I am not covered. I am not covered. When you don't pray for me, I'm not covered. So I have many prayer warriors who pray for me. Just say hi. I know you'd said hi before, but you can just say, Jane comes from Nyandarua.